the thing is so beautiful. Even when you live near like a very busy road, when it's snowing, there's that softness on the road. The cars that used to make a lot of noise on the road is now silenced. So there is peace at this point of time. That's why I think even Norwegian, they don't speak most of the time during winter. They are so quiet. Because imagine you're losing the energy, you're losing your heat. The heat that is supposed to keep you inside, you are speaking to somebody. You only say hi and you just shut your mouth and you keep quiet completely. I used to think they're rude, but I think that's the way of life here, but not elsewhere. Back in time, I really used to listen to a lot of hip-hop, and because of listening to hip-hop, I got into poetry. Poetry became my life. So with poetry, I developed an habit of like not only listening to poetry, but also listening to hip-hop. Then I started being an active practitioner of spoken word poetry. So I used to write poetry, recite poetry, and listen to it a lot more time. Every time I'm free, I'm listening to poetry. And that somewhat changed my life, because any time life is presenting hardship to me, I only find my escape in poetry, which is a good thing, because instead of telling everyone the trouble that I'm going through, I just express myself through poetry. I listen to poetry, I get motivated with those words, and in the end I'm filled with good vibes. So when you listen to poetry, you will never stop also listening to spoken word poetry, because all go together. I love listening to hip-hop because hip-hop is also just like a branch or an element of poetry. When you listen to great hip-hoppers like Tupac Shakur, rest in peace, the guy who once said, just because you have lost me as a friend does not mean you gain me as an enemy. Words like that keeps me going, because it keeps me forgiving, and it keeps me looking at life in a positive manner. Yes, when you look at life in a positive manner, a lot of positivity will always fall in place for you. You never go wrong when you're positive about life, or when somebody steps on your foot. Yeah, you don't have to be bitter the whole day. You just brush it off and you just continue, just slide it and just let it be. You know, life brings anything. Today can be peace, tomorrow is war, but that does not mean you can only wait when there's peace, then you'll be happy. Even during the fight, you can still laugh. Yeah, that is it for this season, and we wait for another one, and we keep growing old and all as we wait for the day that you give your final breath and you say, I live my life, I fought a good fight, I wait for what lies beyond my effort. So it's just the nature of life that you should really tend to understand it. No offense.